does the American dream mean to you? The answer says a lot, not just about who you are as an individual, but what you believe the purpose of America is. If we want to talk seriously about how to fix America, we need to start by redefining what the American dream means. The original idea behind the American dream was rooted in liberty, equality, and opportunity. It reflected the hope that each person, through hard work and virtue, could build a better life for their family and community. But over time, that vision has been hijacked by something very different. Today, the American dream has been reduced to a shopping list, a bigger house, a bigger car, the latest tech, and more stuff now. In American Restraint, I argue that two forces, hyper-individualism and hyper-capitalism, are reshaping American life around excessive consumerism. And this transformation has been personally, socially, and environmentally disastrous. Consumerism isn't just a lifestyle, it's a value system, and one that's badly out of control. Let me know in the comments, what does the American dream mean to you? All right, hello America, and welcome to the latest episode of the American Restraint podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Trepanier, author of American Restraint. And today we're pushing back on consumerism. So what is consumerism? You can think of consumerism as the belief that buying things will make you happy, that fulfillment is found in possessions, that meaning is something you can put in your shopping cart. One of the high priests of capitalism and American consumerism is Jeff Bezos. Amazon's entire business model is built on the premise that you can have whatever you want, whenever you want it, with one click. No restraint, no limits, no shipping fees. Bezos once said, "What consumerism really is, at its worst, is getting people to buy things that don't actually improve their lives." That quote sums up so much of what the American dream has become, a pursuit of stuff that doesn't nourish our souls, strengthen our families, or build communities. Consumerism has replaced religion. Last week, we explored how religion once served as the moral glue of American culture. But over the past 50 years, as belief in God has declined, consumerism has filled the void. Today, Americans are more likely to be labeled as consumers than they are as citizens. Politicians, CEOs, and economists talk endlessly about consumer confidence and consumer spending, as if our highest purpose is to go shopping. This shift has hollowed out our national identity. We no longer find purpose in faith, community, or family. We seek it in stuff, mostly cheap plastic stuff from underpaid Chinese workers. Religion teaches self-restraint and self-sacrifice. Consumerism teaches gratification and entitlement. One builds up communities. The other isolates us in front of screens and checkout counters. Here's something interesting, though. A recent study found that 61% of young adults had no moral objection to materialism or consumerism. Another 30% had minor concerns, but didn't think it was worth worrying about. In a society where freedom now means freedom to shop, what has happened to our higher aspirations? Let me know in the comments. Has the American dream become too materialistic? The contradictions of capitalism. Harvard sociologist Daniel Bell predicted this cultural unraveling in 1976, almost 50 years ago, in his book, The Cultural Contradictions of Capitalism, a book I highly recommend. Bell argued that capitalism depends on a moral foundation, a culture of hard work, discipline, and responsibility. But the very success of capitalism erodes that foundation by promoting instant gratification, self-indulgence, and consumerist values. And businesses in search of ever greater profits eventually find ways to lay off workers, leading to families and communities that are hit hard by joblessness. It's a paradox. The engine that built America's prosperity is now undermining the culture that made that prosperity possible in the first place. This insight deeply influenced the next generation of thinkers like Patrick Deneen in Why Liberalism Failed that we've talked a lot about on this podcast. And look, I believe that capitalism is much better than socialism, but what we have in America today isn't capitalism. It's hyper-capitalism. And it needs restraint. For the next few episodes, we're exploring ways to restrain hyper-individualism and hyper-capitalism, starting at the state level, where real innovation can still happen. Here are the 4 policy ideas that I think could help states restore meaning and rein in consumerism. Number 1, rethink the purpose of economic growth. Instead of worshiping GDP, let's ask who benefits from growth. 4% GDP growth is meaningless if it only benefits the top 10% while leaving the middle class and the poor behind. States should experiment with metrics that measure well-being and human flourishing, not just production and consumption. Okay, second, discourage excessive debt. Excessive consumer debt has become normalized. Credit cards, payday loans, buy now, pay later plans. States can and should outlaw predatory lending practices and offer tax incentives for saving instead of spending. Financial literacy programs can help families avoid the debt trap that hyper-capitalism depends on. Number 3, promote minimalism as a counterculture. Minimalism isn't about asceticism. It's about refocusing life around what matters. State and local governments can highlight minimalist values in public campaigns, encourage decluttering drives, or partner with nonprofits that emphasize community and family over consumption. Less truly is more. And on this note, I highly, highly recommend the Minimalists podcast. They've got a couple specials on Netflix that are just terrific, really great ideas. And number 4, decommercialize major holidays. Remember when holidays were about family, service, or faith? Today they're about sales. A Restraint Formula state could implement blue laws on holidays, encouraging businesses to close and families to connect. We don't need more holiday shopping events. We need real holy days again. Originally, holidays meant holy days. Okay, final thoughts. Consumerism isn't just an economic system, it's a belief system, and that belief, unchecked, has become toxic. We need to reclaim the American dream as something deeper than square footage and interest-free financing. We need to be citizens again, not just consumers. And we need to act, starting in the states. Okay, let me know in the comments. What's one thing that you have done to push back or reduce excessive consumerism in your own life? And don't forget to subscribe and check out my book, American Restraint, now available on Amazon. Until next time, stay hopeful, buy less, and remember, America can be fixed if we choose restraint.